Okay, day 6, no Suboxone for me. Yeah, it's been pretty shitty. I don't know how well this is of a spot this is to put my phone. Probably a terrible spot. But I've been home for probably, it's 4:40 right now. Jeez, have I been home for an hour? Well, it was a rough day, day 6. I recorded a video earlier at work. Didn't finish it because, I don't know if you can see me. Let me take my shoes off. I didn't want to take my shoes off for the first part of me being here because honestly it was a fucking mess in here. I had to clean up and I was a little concerned if I took my shoes off that I would not want to clean up and eat. There's leftovers from yesterday, a bunch of mixed vegetables. Gotta have plenty of fruit. Speaking of fruit, yeah, my place was a mess. Day 6, no Suboxone. I stopped Suboxone on February 28th, and it is March the 6th. Last Suboxone I took was that morning of February 28th. And it's been pretty shitty. Yesterday, well, look at me. Yesterday, after I got off work, well, the day at work was just rough. Actually, this is why I'm making this video. It's because of how rough it was at work yesterday. And what I did yesterday was I searched for other people who had not doctors that wanted to talk about their way of the proper way of going through withdrawals. I wanted to hear actual people that were on different opiates, Suboxone, whatever, themselves. Anything along the opiate line. Tramadol as well, because people don't realize that even though tramadols, unless you eat like 10 of them, they don't really get you fucked up. And then even if you eat 10 of them, it's not really a good buzz, but they still have an opioid base where if you eat them on a regular basis and you go without them, you're going to experience the same withdrawal, possibly worse, unbelievably. But yeah, I'm just now taking my shoes off for after an hour of being home because I had to cook, not cook, but clean. Kids are supposed to come over. They come over every Wednesday. It's Tuesday. I don't want them, if they're going to come over. That's another thing. I have informed the few people that are close to me, what I'm going through. So I told my kids, my two sons' mom, that what I'm trying to do, we're not together. I'm single, I live here by myself. And I told her what I was going through and that I may need Wednesday off, and she said that's fine, and she said she was happy that I was trying to do what I was trying to do. So that's a good thing, positive thing. But yeah, yesterday at work was rough, man. I start work at 6 a.m. and I think like 6:30 I was like, and I'm not even supposed to have my phone out at work, but I do it anyway because, well, watch the last video and you'll see why. And I found one person, the first person I listened to, and another person, and I didn't like intend on going the whole entire day. And what I do is, how I get away with it as a forklift driver is I have multiple of these earpieces and I put a headband and it covers my ears, and some people know what I'm doing and it doesn't really matter. You gotta prove it, right? Long story short, so that's how I managed to not watch these videos but mainly listen. And it was very inspiring and sad. It was really heartbreaking and inspiring and everything. And like I just what I did is I let YouTube autoplay, so when one ended, a random one just started, and that was fine with me. And I kind of did that a few times today, not nearly as much today, day 6, but I'm not a heavy, could never do more than 2 milligrams of Suboxone. I could do a lot of pills, I could do a lot of Oxycontin, do a lot of heroin, but something about Suboxone, it really, I always, initially for like a year, when I tried it the first time, I was like, I wanted to get off the Traminols because I was eating like 15 a day. That was ridiculous, not to mention all the ibuprofen and Tylenol with it. And finally, I was getting Traminols through my doctors for years, and then I got tired of dealing with the doctors, and it was just cheaper and easier to get it off the street. Not to mention, I went like a year without insurance, so I was getting it off the street, and then I lost my connection on the street, but I didn't want to go back to the doctor. I didn't like dealing with the doctor. The doctor that I had was an asshole, and I've had a lot of asshole doctors, and I just did not want to deal with a doctor. So I tried Suboxone again. I mean, it's real easy to get. That's a good thing about Suboxone as opposed to anything else, is that it is really attainable. I never even went to a Suboxone clinic for myself, and I obtained it. You could obtain it right now. I have it right now. I just don't do it. I stopped. In fact, let me show you. Let's see. Oh. Sorry, it's kind of a mess. It's my little pill box that I keep my subs in. And yeah, I smoke herb. Nothing wrong with anything natural, guys. I don't care what you say. That's your opinion. You know what they say about opinions. But yeah, there goes a piece of a Suboxone. It's not really focusing real good. Let me. There. See that? Yeah. And I haven't touched that until I just scooted that in 6 days. And I actually take some to work with me, and about as much as I've been taking, this little piece of silver, it's a little piece of silver right there next to it. I have a bunch of silver, and it always ends up scattered everywhere, and I just leave it in this box in here. I know it's weird, I don't know why, but normally, like the last month or two, the pieces of Suboxone I've been taking are like the piece of that silver. One in the morning and one at night for like the last 2 or 3 months. And then for like the last, I'm going to say, couple of weeks, some days I could even, you see this dust right there? I could take my finger in the morning and just like press it down and then stick all that under my tongue, and I'd be good to go. And that was another thing I noticed about Suboxone as opposed to all other opioids, is that if you take pills, perks, or heroin or anything, and you are an everyday user, you will be withdrawing by the end of the day. And that was not the case with me for Suboxone. And to me, that was sort of a just from up above sin. You know what I'm saying? That was to be able to not to just to have, if I wanted to do like 2 milligrams of a sub or a half of 2 milligrams of a sub in the morning, I honestly could go the rest of it. Once I started doing subs, I noticed that immediately, but I just kept taking like a quarter of a sub, especially every night before I went to bed, because it just really helped me sleep real good. I mean, that was like crucial for me, was in the morning and at night. And I could really go all day, but I could really go the night. But I'm just trying to give you some insight on my abuse on Suboxone. And I'm not actually probably going to be able to post this video until I leave my job, because the job that I work, I get drug tested often, and I always pass them. And, you know, I still smoke herb, and I'm probably going to for quite a long time. And so yeah, I'm just And also have to document, I'm also what they would technically call a vegan. So I guess that could be another documentary in itself. I thought I went vegan like right before January 1st of 2018. But I was not paying attention at the grocery store. The grocery store is like a fucking gauntlet of animal products and death. And I wasn't realizing, like in my apples and my cereal, that I thought I started reading all the labels. Like come January 1st, I was like at the grocery store. Like I had to read the labels. Like I started reading the labels. I had to see what's in the stuff. But for some reason, honey slipped my mind. I did not compute honey is not something I should be consuming. So probably have not been veganing. I don't like to call myself a vegan. I like to say that I'm veganing, because I don't like to personify anything less than all, as should anybody who has the ability to comprehend that concept. So I've probably been a vegan for officially no animal products, but it's, even though you say that, it's, you still somehow, trust me, you have animal products, you touch them, you absorb them. When my kids come over, I serve them mostly vegan stuff, but I don't serve them any milk, any meat, mostly fruits, vegetables, and nuts and the stuff but I do allow them to have candy that has milk in it for now, because there's a reason why people have to experience the things to determine for themselves what's right and what's wrong. And not to mention, I just don't have the awareness yet to overcome that situation, because I don't want to feed my kids any animal products. I just haven't really attained enough so-called knowledge to make that happen. I'm trying to get there though. But I would never forbid anybody from consuming animal products, unless it was some. And see, there's a catch-22 right there, because if it's close to you, if the animal's close to you, it's like you have to care for all animals. It's like you can't just be selfish and only care about the animals that are in your immediate family, because technically we're all one family. So, but yeah, I'm a vegan. I was a vegetarian for probably at least 6 months before I became a vegan, like 8 months. And I'm bringing all this stuff up because not only does it help me going through the withdrawal state, that I was only taking such a low dosage of Suboxones, but I also believe that the way that I eat, I don't eat any junk food anymore. No, at all. Like, actually, I take that back. I do have some kettle chips that I read the package on, and I need to research maybe a couple of ingredients in this package, but as far as I can tell, there's no animal products in these chips. But I still need to investigate these chips. But I think the way that I've been eating a lot of I normally eat these like every day. Since I became a vegan. I didn't even like really know about these at Aldi's until I became a vegan. And they have tons of nuts at Aldi's, but when you read the back of them, it'll say made in a factory that may have had milk or dairy, or and it's like, so like, that's another thing at the beginning of the year, as far as me considering myself a vegan and I was still having a honey, I was buying these cashews, and it was kind of tricky because it just said like cashews, contains cashews. But what I didn't initially notice was like below the dark print there was another undark print saying, it might have been a dark print too, but saying that it was these nuts were manufactured in a facility that had milk. So, and I could kind of taste the residue on those nuts. After you stop consuming milk, you can definitely smell milk and taste it. It has a very disgusting aftertaste. Nobody should be drinking milk, consuming milk. I believe it's the basis for all of the health problems. That's why, I mean, does anybody have a bigger advertising budget, marketing budget than milk? You know, this is what I've told people several times, and I can go deeper on milk, much deeper, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so these nuts have a good source of vitamins and minerals right here: potassium, sodium, cholesterol, magnesium, vitamin A, iron, phosphorus, 2% calcium. So, and these are raw nuts right here. And also I drink a bunch of fruit smoothies, no sugar added. Yeah, they do the flash pasteurization where they take some of the good stuff out of it. You know, they claim, oh, they're doing this to help you, but I think more they're taking good stuff out of it. But I think you get enough good stuff in those pre-bottled fruit smoothies, and I drink at least 2 big bottles a day mixed with these nuts. And I'm just saying, and the vegetables I eat, you know, vegetables for dinner almost every day is just probably a combination of 15 different vegetables, like just bulked up every day with I got a French, what do you call it? French bread in the oven, which, you know, it tastes so good. I feel guilty, and I read the package on it, and it doesn't say it has any animal products, but it just tastes too fucking good. But yeah, I think that helps me. Man, this video is up to 18 minutes long. I'm just documenting, guys. I just had to let you know. And also, I gotta let you know, I am a bike rider. I'm a pedestrian. I'm a public professional pedestrian. So it's been kind of rough getting up in the mornings, going out there. I gotta ride about a mile total to work, and then another mile back. That's also mixed in with putting the bike on the bus, and that's been real shitty, to say the least. But the bike ride today on the way home, I actually felt like day 6, you know, like holy shit, it's unbelievable that I'm not passing out. But yesterday when I got home, I had no energy, guys, no energy. I was able to muster some energy to make a bunch of vegetables, and I ate what I could, and I laid in the bed for about 12 hours. Got about 6 hours of sleep out of those 12 hours, and the place was a mess, and I did not want to get up after 12 hours being in bed. It was rough yesterday, guys. So I guess I would look probably like 100 times better right now than I did this time yesterday. That's not to say that I might be looking like that again tomorrow or some other point. But yeah, I'm just documenting, guys. I gotta eat. I just felt obligated because listening to other people going through their experiences off of Suboxone, I really just at some point I'm going to post this and the other video and any other videos I do regarding Suboxone, just chronicling chronicling my experience because I think it's important. And the reason why I'm doing this is because first of all, I don't want to be dependent on anything to be going. I like to smoke weed, but I can easily, I don't have to worry about not being able to function properly without going with weed. I might be a little irritable. I'm not gonna lie. If you're a heavy smoker, those first couple of days, you're gonna be a little edgy, but you're gonna be, physically able to perform any duty. So, number 2 reason is my children. You don't, if you don't want your children to be on drugs, it's kind of hard. Not drugs, but pharmacy. I really don't mind if my kids smoke weed and grow whatever they want to grow naturally. I really don't. I'm one of those people. And 3, I have been starting doing stand-up comedy the last like 3 or 4 months seriously, and I realized if I'm gonna be serious about doing stand-up comedy, I've been going to open mics, but I haven't been going the last couple weeks. If I'm gonna be serious about doing comedy, by doing something like that, that is likely going to involve some traveling, and I can't be out there worrying about how I'm going to deal with my dependency on certain things to keep me functioning. So, and then another reason is, there's many reasons why I quit. 4th reason is I do all type of just meditating and research, and I have come to the encompassment that in order to attain the highest levels of awareness, consciousness, that's something you have to overcome, is a dependency like that. It's like trying to be a fat person trying to tell somebody how to be skinny. If you want to raise your, not intellect, but your consciousness, you have to overcome obstacles such as dependencies to keep you functioning at a normal level. So, and like I said, I could keep going on with that, guys, but I'm pretty hungry. Just want to document. It's probably 20 minutes plus another 15-minute video. I'm sure I'll be documenting again. And like I say, I still got subs, but now it's time to take a stand. One more thing though, I am dealing with crucial pain in my shoulder. I have broken my right wrist. Before I let you go, I have actually shattered my right wrist. It fell 30 feet. I have a titanium rod in my leg, 2 pins right there in my ankle. I have a pin going through my knee. But worse than those is I have a possible torn rotator cuff in my left shoulder, and that motherfucker is killing me. I'm concerned that I may have to get surgery, but I'm going to be looking into cupping and acupuncture and stuff like that first. But man, it's rough. It is fucking rough dealing with the real pains. And maybe if I get through this detox, but the pain was real before. That was another reason why I wanted to stop subs, is because the subs weren't really, yeah, they helped me function, but wasn't taking away the pain in this shoulder. So yeah, just had to note that real quick. But yeah, I gotta eat something. Peace.